A very good morning to you from WeatherTech Raceway, Laguna Seca, California, USA. It's round 6, that's weekend number 6. Rounds 11 and 12 of Ferrari Challenge North America. The final ones on American soil before these drivers head across the pond to Italy for Mugello for the finale Mondiale, where we'll crown our champions in the various different classes, Trofeo Pirelli and Coppa Shell. We started back in California at Sonoma Raceway, just a few hours down the road, then up to the legendary Daytona, Miami Autodrome, the F1 track, Indianapolis Motor Speedway, Watkins Glen last time out, and now Laguna Seca for the 6th weekend. And you see at the bottom of the page there, October 21st to the 26th, Mugello for the finale Mondiale to round out another brilliant season. 2025 has been a lot of fun. Hope you guys have been enjoying watching the action. We've got qualifying coming up for you now from this brilliant venue. My name's Andrew Coley. I will be guiding you through the session. Alongside me is a legendary Ferrari ex-racing driver. He's still very fast, though. Now, he races karts now. He's still very fast. It's Tony Verlander. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning. What a perfect weather
for
this day, too. Yesterday, a little bit misty conditions in the morning. Now, just beautiful. Basically, no wind. Sun is out. Drivers are ready. I saw a few of the drivers at Casa Ferrari for the breakfast. That everybody's just looking forward to go racing, qualifying and racing again.
Yeah, the track temperatures today are more like they were for the race yesterday in the afternoon. So you can see the air temperature is 20 Celsius, track temperature about 28. Humidity's still up there. There's a low bit of wind. But there, I mean, look at that, the horizon. You couldn't see that yesterday. It's absolutely stunning here. It's a picture-perfect day in the rolling hills of California. What a beautiful place to go racing. Very fond of Monterey, I have to say. That's lovely. Went to Big Sur last night and had a good look at the view. And, yeah, fantastic. What a great place. Casa Ferrari going for it this morning. Yeah, I'm happy, Tony. I'm in good shape. I want to go racing. Let's go. Let's get things underway. Nina Jade Paul is on this TV team as well. She's down the pitch. Nina Jade, are you ready to go?
I am absolutely ready to go, Andrew, and I'm with you. I'm happy as well. Sun is shining, lovely breakfast in Casa Ferrari, raring to go. Now, today is all about fine margins. Who can pull together the best lap? Who can find that extra 10th? Who can put it all together to put themselves in the best position for the race? Now, some drivers will be looking for redemption after yesterday. Particularly, I'm standing outside the Ferrari collection, and Fabian Spearman had some unlucky days yesterday. He had a little spin, so he will be looking for some redemption. The likes of Jan Bernier, he will be looking for some redemption. Drivers will be on the charge this morning, and we saw just how important qualifying is. Johnny Kaminsky pulled off a beautiful overtake yesterday, but this track showed that overtaking is tricky. Track position is king. Qualifying is very important. Not long now until we get going.
Yeah, absolutely dead right, Nina Jade. Passing here was tricky yesterday and will remain so today because the outskirts of the track, as you can see in the background, are kind of gravel and dust, and when you drive past that at a couple of 100 miles an hour, it sucks the dust onto the track. Now, when you're running over it, of course, on the racing line, it's clean, Tony, but the rest of it could do with a good old sweep.
Yeah, very easy to make and commit a mistake here. We saw in the qualifying already with the cold tires yesterday, some drivers a little bit surprised by the level of the grip. In racing mode, yes, when you are overtaken, it's easier, it's better to back off a little bit. If you force the issue too much to the exit of the corners, drop a wheel, you may end up spinning, or you lose a lot of time going off the track. And here we see on the images the characteristic of this track. Use every centimeter, every inch of the track in the exits, but at the same time, be careful not to drop the wheel. There's no tarmac at the exit of the corners. It's just pure gravel, and when you put your car there, you are in trouble.
Yeah, you can see where the tire marks go off, and then you see a big line into the gravel. That's
trouble.
Yes, that was trouble. That was definitely trouble, and we did a little bit of that yesterday. There is the prancing horse on the back of the fantastic 296 Challenge cars. We'll be waiting for the V6 twin-turbo engines to be started up any minute now, and then the drivers will be able to head out. It should be relatively pleasant in the cars right now. That's Michael Owens, who yesterday made a great pass on Fabian Spearman, didn't he, up to turn 1. Spearman got back, and then, of course, there was a bit of carnage after the restart. All sorts of things going on. It was a day yesterday. Lewis Flory, he was in the wars yesterday, wasn't he? I think he went round 3 times in the end, so I know he'll be looking for a tidy day. He was actually one of the drivers who went round on the outlap. And Lewis is class. He's been brilliant this year, but it wasn't his day yesterday, and what Nina Jade was saying is right. At least you get a second bite of the cherry.
Yeah, you need to be a bit cautious, have the patience, because if you go in with a lot of determination and you want to perform before the tires are ready, then normally you end up doing a mistake. And some of the drivers, sometimes we see it varies their input, their aggression level. Sometimes they want more too fast, and then they end up having issues. Always the patience, importance of your team, engineer, and a lot of the drivers have their own driver coaches. So as a driver coach, you should read, learn to see your driver, what kind of attitude is in the morning.
Yes.
Either you try to wake him up a bit more or calm down.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's such an important role, isn't it? I think what will be interesting to see here is how long it takes for the tyres to warm up. So yesterday we saw our top drivers in the Pirelli class. They took the most careful approach to the start of the session. 2 laps at least of just weaving out on the track, getting some temperature into the Pirelli tyres, and they really took their time. And Massimo Perina, even on his flying laps, 4 or 5 laps in, the car was still twitchy. But it is a bit warmer this morning, Tony.
Yeah, this may give the grip a little bit earlier, but still I would say a lap around lap 4, lap 5, even lap 6, we saw beautiful fight with was it Jan Bernier and Mitchell Green, last lap of the qualifying.
It was brilliant, yeah.
And
it was 7 and 8,
both of the drivers
yeah,
posting their best lap time and just 1 or 2 tenths difference. So driver inside the car, he feels where's the grip at. Is it already gone? Is it there's no reason to push anymore because the grip is not enough? Or if you keep improving, you go until your lap times and your sector times keep getting better and faster. So a lot is also down to the driver, because in the end the crew and the engineer from the pit wall, they don't know all the details. How is the grip level, how are the tires? So it's a lot of responsibility up to the driver.
Just looking at Melissa Kozira, she got P3 yesterday. Great job by her, among say lots of people having problems. She was actually involved in one of the incidents with Lewis Flory at the start of the race. Did well to come back to it. This is David Williams with the yellow and black livery, very cool. And in the background, Flory. I'm trying to think where Lewis went round. It might have been, I think it was there on the warm-up lap yesterday. So I think people have learned from yesterday, from the look of the way they're approaching the start of this session. They're not doing, though, what you see the Pirelli drivers doing, which is weaving and warming the car up. But at least that keeps you on the clean line. What's the better approach?
Yeah, there's a lot of difference between even among the pro drivers, so professional race car drivers. So I'm not a big fan of weaving the car from left to right. I try to create more grip in the corner and through the rotors. So if you create heat for the brakes, then this heat goes through the wheel to the rim, through the rim to the wheel to the tire inside, and then with the heat the tire pressure goes up. And when you have the combination that the surface of the tire, the temperature of the surface, and the pressure inside is in the right spot, then you have the best performance from the tires. And always with the brand new set of tires, there is a peak of performance, and then the performance settles down. If it's 1/10, half a second or 1 second, is track related, but there's always the peak of performance on new set of tires in qualifying.
Lewis Flory obviously feeling that he is through that warm-up period. He dives to the inside line here and gets the pass done into turn 1. Wanted a bit of clear track there. 1:30.6, that's not a quick lap yet, and he was definitely catching on that last one. David Williams in the yellow and black, who he passed into turn 1, so we'll expect that lap time to come down from now on.
Yeah, we are into lap 2, so we're obviously seeing improvements all the time. We are still a few seconds off from yesterday's performance, so Fabian Sperman yesterday 1:25.785, and that's a good reference lap time for today's qualifying in this Shell Am.
So all white car here, that is Steve Czech, who is normally got a gold livery on the car, but that's his T car, that's why it's got a T next to it. So effectively his spare car. I don't remember Steve having a big incident yesterday. Yes, did he climb? Yes, he did. Do you remember that he climbed out of the car and he had a technical issue?
Might be, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so they've obviously decided it's all Sperman running a bit wide there on the exit.
Yeah, he
obviously decided it's better to use the T car than it is to try and do they might have had the mechanics up all night to repair that, and at that point you go, just roll the T car out.
Yeah, we were talking about grip level, so you could see on Fabian Sperman's lap that in turn 3 he had to back off, so there was not enough grip on the front tires, so he was understeering off the racing line, and it's a good thing to back off instead of forcing the issue too much and end up trouble.
Paul Lynn is yesterday's winner in Coppa Shell Am which is the category we're watching now. Remember, as we often remind you, there's the AM category in both Coppa Shell and Trofeo Pirelli. So you get 4 rungs on the ladder, if you like, within Ferrari Challenge, which is a great way for these drivers to move up. So at the end of the year, once they're done at Mugello for Finale Mondiali, there'll have to be discussions about where they want to be next year, and I imagine some people will be told where they're going to be next year. You've won, you can't come back next year, you're going up a class.
Yeah, Ferrari monitors the performance of each driver very closely to make sure that each of these drivers are in the right category based on their performance on track, racing skills, how many starts, how long they've been in Ferrari Challenge, and this way sort of balance of performance on driver's side organized and managed by Ferrari. So I think it's a very good system and gives a lot of drivers the chance to fight for the podiums, fight with the drivers with the same amount of experience.
Michael Owens is who you're looking at now, currently sitting in P6, one of the front runners in this category. Paul Lynn, yesterday's winner, currently on the pole, 1:27.6. How does that compare, Tony? Still not quite there, are we?
Yeah, we are around 2 seconds.
Lewis Flory with a pass in the last corner. That will have cost him in terms of exit speed. Where he's P2 at the minute and only 8,000s back, so he'll get another clean lap now. Doesn't go quicker that time round.
Yeah, most of the drivers are either on lap 3 or lap 4 on timing and scoring, so this is normally the time when timing and scoring really lights up. So the pressures are there, tires are at their best, so a lot of drivers each time crossing the line go up on the timing and scoring, so this is the exciting moment of the session.
Gabe Hribb goes top of the table, 1:26.7. So great, Gabe Hribb is now 9/10 of a second quicker than Lynn, and 5 minutes to go. Yeah, as you say, Tony, I mean, literally every single person is doing personal best. Michael Owens goes to the top, 1:25.6.
This is an impressive lap time from Michael Owens. It's already a 10th below yesterday's pole position, so now we need to wait and see on Fabian's response to this.
Yeah, he's just gone with a 1:26.4, which is his personal best. You're on board with Matthew Herfield here. Yesterday we had one of our onboards with Matthew Diel. I had a nice catch up with him at breakfast this morning. He's got all his kids with him, so hello to Matthew Diel's family who are watching. And from Casa Ferrari. And that is Herfield, Matthew Herfield, the other Matthew. I'm sure there's probably more than 2 Matthews. Matthew and his wife Stephanie are both competing, aren't they? Where's Stephanie at the minute? She's on a 1:32.2, and Matthew is on a 1:29.3.
We talked yesterday about traffic, so in qualifying very important is to have a clean lap, not to overtake other drivers, and sometimes it's very frustrating for a racing driver on the best lap when you run into a traffic, and that's the famous moment for the drivers. I could have gone half a second faster, I could have gone 1 second faster, but like I said, the ideal is always to have a clean lap, no traffic. Slipstream, we always talk about slipstream, following another car, if your car could go a little bit faster on the straight line, but on racetracks like this, it's just clear track ahead of you, which have the best chance and best conditions to perform well.
That's what Corley's got now, and goes up to P3 from P5, so makes use of that clear track. And that's why we see passing, like we saw Lewis Flory make a lovely clean pass into turn 1. The advantage you've got in this session is no one's going to be stupid enough to shut the door. You know, in the race, you're going to shut the door, you want to hold the position, whereas now if someone's really determined to go, you might as well let them go unless it's going to affect your lap. And yeah, so people are pretty good at finding space. That's Stephanie Herfield at the front of these 3 with Melissa Kozira pulling out to the outside to dive up the inside. Nice one. We're going to take Melissa Kozira over the line. She's coming down now into turn 11. I had a few messages last night again about MotoGP here. People who have been watching, they're like, oh, I loved MotoGP from Laguna Seca. You forget how good bikes are here as well. It's such a wonderful track. Kozira stays P7, but Vartugin goes quicker and slots up just ahead of her. I think it's Vartugin that's behind her on the road. 2 minutes 20 remaining. Owen to the top, 0.4 ahead of Flory, so Flory has gone quick now. That's more like it from Lewis. There he is. Good job by him. A full perfect 0.400, which pleases me very much. Look at Corley as well, 0.800. Oh, Spurman to the top, 125.645.
100ths of a second.
That's crazy, isn't it? So close. Owens will be gutted about that. Blink of an eye stuff. It's Fabian Sperman getting it done.
Yeah, Fabian yesterday towards the end of the race was a bit nervous. He made a mistake going into at the end of a second last lap and spinning in the last corner and lost the lead.
You lost 10 places.
Yeah, lost the lead of the race. So, like Nina Jade told us before qualifying, he's really one of the drivers that's looking for revenge after yesterday's performance and final result.
Yeah, can he get the double here with just a minute 10 to go? He was pole yesterday in the category with that time that Tony already mentioned, the 125.7. Here's Paul Lynn, who's down to P7. Petromolo, who our onboard is with, slots up into P5. Paul Lynn then, can this be an improvement from P8? Where did he qualify yesterday? He was 5th yesterday. Nice exit from the last corner, uses the curbs but not the greenery. Over the line. Not quicker though. 127. Okay, sorry, yes, a little quicker, but no improvement. It was his personal best, but doesn't move up. So Owens is a 10th back now from Sperman.
Yeah,
Sperman's gone quicker again.
Yeah, 2 laps in a row.
At the same pace, isn't it? 2 125.5s.
Yes.
Steve Check in his T car coming over the line. Yes, Steve, up to P5. That's what we like to see. And I do love a white race car. So you know I'm a rally man, Tony, and all rally cars are tested pre-season, aren't they, in a white livery with no decals on. I think it's really sick when someone runs a totally white car. I know everyone loves their liveries and they want to put their sponsors on there, but go on, Steve, I'm here for the white livery. I would have liked it even more if he had white rims on it. That would have been really cool, but I know it's not a rally car. Checker flag is out, and we've got to see now Kiel crosses the line for P18, Mendoza as well. Petromalo on board over the line.
On the top, last lap.
Oh, we were following Petromalo and we've just
lost
what
happened
pictures.
On the top.
He's done it, yes, on board with him. On board with him, Petromolo's just gone to the top of the table. And Flory had gone there just before him. Well spotted, Tony. Gutted. We lost the onboard just as he crossed the line and took pole. So Petromolo, 125.009, but we're getting a response now from Fabian Sperman, who's done 2 brilliant laps in a row. Owens in front as well on a big push. Can either of them steal the pole back in the last seconds of the session? Owens goes P2, Sperman goes P2. Petromolo holds on by 0.2 of a second. What a brilliant end to the session. Look at that. 0.271 seconds covering the top 4 in this session. That is outstanding from the Shell Am drivers.
Yes, and again on the last lap of the qualifying session. So very impressive performance. And where did that come from Petromolo?
Yeah.
Very, very good.
Yesterday, Petromolo was down in I think P6 or P7.
And a very impressive lap time.
Yeah.
It's 8 tenths quicker than yesterday.
Brilliant. Good job. Tom Petromolo on the pole, 125.009. Fantastic drive.
Yeah, and based on this performance from our Shell Am drivers, what can the Pirelli drivers do? They have the 4th qualifying session, and if Shell Am drivers are going 7-8 tenths quicker than yesterday,
then it should be be super quick.
Yes.
Petromolo qualified 7th at Indy in the first race that he did this year and got P3. Good job. Retired the following day, but qualified 11th. And in Watkins, he qualified 11th and 13th. Has knocked it out of the park today. Pole. Absolutely fantastic.
Maybe it was the Ferrari gala dinner last night.
It could, yeah, but could be. It could be, couldn't it? What a great drive.
Wow. Impressive. And this is also a very nice story in the category. You have the 2 race days, and you have always the chance to improve, because it's a continuous work with your team and your driver coach. And this really shows that the performance each driver can have, and you just need to have the right day, the right moment, and this is what they can do.
Well, this is the right day for Tom Petromolo with the pole here at race number 2, Laguna Seca, Coppa Shell, 125.009. And that is some 7 tenths quicker than the pole was yesterday. The pole man from yesterday, Fabian Sperman, going half a second quicker than he went. Michael Owens, Lewis Flory, Gabe Hribb, Lance Corley. That is a great top 6 on this grid. We can expect that to be a fantastic encounter. Steve Check in his T car is down there, and then we've got Paul Lynn, yesterday's winner, down in P9, Vartugin, Hummel, Wailao, Matthew Herfield, Lewis Pesquier, and then down towards the bottom of the field. Stephanie Herfield down in P20. She'd normally be further up than that, so maybe an issue for her. I think that's going to be a very pleased Tom Petromolo, and rightly so. That is pole position with a brilliant, brilliant lap. It is so close at the top. Congratulations to Tom. The team was so stoked when he came in. Everybody applauding and cheering over the side of the pit wall. Great job.
Thank you very much.
So next category is getting ready to head out for their laps. Nina J. Paul is with Tom Petromolo. Let's hear from him.
Yes, I'm with a very happy Tom Petromolo. 7/10 quicker than the pole position yesterday. Where did that lap come from, Tom?
It was just anger. No, it wasn't. It was just a good lap. Everything came together at the right time.
What goes through your mind when you cross the line and they say, that's pole position, Tom?
Yeah, I heard that. I couldn't believe it because that's not my expectation, but certainly excited about it. Looking forward to the race now.
Congratulations. Go well later.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
I love that. What a gentleman. Super chilled about it. Got pole. That was not my expectation. Well, you're going to have to raise your expectations because that was a great job. Really, really impressive drive. Tom Petromolo takes the pole in Coppa Shell Am. So Coppa Shell just getting ready to go out. Me and Tony are just doing a little bit of checking up on yesterday. Race results are still showing as provisional on the website, so we're checking in. Mitchell Green was the winner from Chuck Whittle and Stephen Chen. Stephen Chen made a good few attempts to try and pass Chuck. Nobody was in the same performance area as Mitchell Green. He was brilliant yesterday. Him and Jan Bernier had a bit of contact in turn 3, and that dropped Bernier down to what ended up being P15 in class. The team changed a toe link in the pit lane and got him back out there. And the cars are rolling out now for their out lap, and they'll look to get things a bit warmed up. So yesterday Bernier ran wide and ended up on the loose on the exit, didn't he, of turn 1, and then they came up towards turn 3 and was side by side. And the contact broke Bernier's car. Yeah, so they did look into the incident yesterday, and we didn't have it on. It was literally just as we changed cameras was when the contact was. But when they looked at all the judicial cameras, they adjudged it, Tony, to be a racing incident.
Yeah, I mean, always at the race start, that is when you fight the most for your territory. You don't give,
of course,
especially for the fight
for the
when
championship.
you fight for the championship and the race lead. But having seen the images, turn 3 still a racing accident. Maybe Jan was a little bit too aggressive defending his position. Mitchell was ahead coming out of turn 2, and then at the time of turning in to turn 3, Jan's car just suddenly came to the side of Mitchell's car, and there was a contact. And
well, Jan had been across the gravel, hadn't he, in the previous corner, so
yes,
he's probably potentially, and obviously we're guessing here, got slightly less grip than he was expecting in turn 3 and has run a bit deep. Likewise, he's also desperately trying to protect the position, which we understand. He's been class. He's been on the podium every single race until yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to just say that he's been the Mr. Consistency, just scoring those podiums, race wins when he has had the pace, but always on the podium, always very strong performance, and just eyes on that championship. Yesterday was a little bit surprising. He wasn't happy to keep that place and wasn't happy to finish P2 again. So maybe when you go towards the end of the season, these things change. You have the patience and the consistency throughout the season, and then it's one corner that can change things very quickly. So a great fight between these two drivers. So Jan Bernier and Mitchell Green, who, by the way, now in qualifying, Mitchell is ahead and Jan is following. So
it's super close behind them, isn't it?
Yes.
There was nothing yesterday. If I remember correctly, Bernier came out later, which he's done again here, and he did 7 laps to Mitchell Green's 8 laps. Nothing in it, but that was. It came down to literally the final second, just like the previous category did just a few moments ago.
Yeah, and also we discussed yesterday Mitchell Green, the way he lives for this racing. I think he would have been happy to go race two straight after the race 1, just to avoid the waiting and preparing for the next day. So he's fun to watch, fun to see, because he's really determined about his racing and thinks a lot about what to do and how to perform on track. And let's see what day 2 here in Laguna brings for him.
So at the moment, the Ranjo leads with a 1:30.9, but we're very much in warm-up lap territory right now. Waltersdorf, a pretty similar time. That's Chuck Whittle, who yesterday did a great job of holding off the attention of behind him, both the Chens. Chuck Whittle's about to cross the line. Let's see what time he's done at this point in the session. There it is, plus 2.5. How many laps did it take to get up to speed, Tony, in the previous session, do you think? Was it a bit quicker maybe than...
I would say it was around lap 5, and after that all the way to the end of the session. So the initial 2 to 3 laps, just warming up the tires, bringing up the temperature. No reason to go for that fast lap before you feel the front end of the car is responding, before you feel that at the downshift the rear axle is not locking and you have enough grip on all 4 tires. Drivers do see the tire pressures, they have the sensors inside the car. So let's say in my GT times, when you see 1.45 bar, or you see around 35 to 40 Celsius on the tires, it's when you start feeling the grip. And from there on until 1.8 bar, and then let's say 70, 80 Celsius on the tires is when you have the best performance. And when you start seeing over those numbers is when you lose performance and you are, let's say, overheating the surface of the tire, when you lose a little bit of grip turning in mid-corner or acceleration coming out of the corners, and then it's a bit too late. As a driver, you need to be ready when the tires are ready. Because after that, then it's a story if I could. And you need to be aware and feel the tires.
Whittle's just gone quickest, immediately bested by Gary Otto on 25.2. Mitchell Green goes in, Stephen Cheng goes in. Bernier crossing the line as well. Osvaldo Gallo goes up to P2, so Gary Ott is right there. Green and Jan Bernier look fighting it out all season long and fighting it out again during this session. Right next to each other with clear track at the moment, but there is a fair speed differential between the top and the bottom of this category. Bernier's got a target in his sights here, hasn't he, with Green right in front of him. They're using almost the exact same amount of track, and it's fun to chase somebody, Tony.
Yeah, sometimes it's the best place to be. But you need to be careful as well, because at the same time the focus on the car ahead might take your focus out of the corners you're doing. So suddenly you start overshooting in braking, losing the apex, and you don't hit your marks anymore. And now Jan is even a bit too close on Mitchell Green. And let's see, this is quite interesting what Mitchell is deciding to do. Is he going to still pull the train? Or does he let Jan by?
I'd let him go, because Bernier's got him on this lap, hasn't he? Big time. So Bernier is going to go quicker here. The question what will be, are they going quicker than Whittle has gone? And the answer is Mitchell Green is not, and Jan Bernier is. So Mitchell Green goes into P3 behind, and Jan Bernier, who's had a nice tow round that lap with his rival. This is a good bit of psychology as well, isn't it? Ahead of the race later on today, it's like, yeah, come on then, let's go. All screeching tyres there in the background. Here's Gary Ott, who is currently sitting in P4.
I hope it's not between Mitchell and Jan. Because
that's what I was thinking too.
The image just got to this car 106, Gary Ott. So
Gary not using quite as much as the runoff area as Green and Bernier were. That's not to say it won't be a good lap. Here's Whittle into the corkscrew. He is on a 124.6 at the moment, so some 4/10 off the pace of Jan Bernier. Don't count him out.
Jan yesterday in qualifying did 123.977, so he's still few tenths off from yesterday's performance. There's still 3 minutes to go, and all the drivers now around lap 4 or lap 5. So this previously, yesterday and also today, has been the best moment.
Gary Ott has moved up into P2. So Mitchell Green is now off that front row. Here is Mitchell Green. Nicely done in turn 1. Is Bernier still behind him? Yes, he is. Green, yeah, with some rotation on the top.
Mitchell coming out of turn 2, very tight line. He even kissed the inside curb, and the car goes sideways a little bit in acceleration. So Jan backed off, and now they are both on a flying lap again.
Yeah, 1.4 seconds slower on the last lap, Bernier was. 124.3 from Mitchell Green. So actually, yeah, Mitchell Green improved on the last lap, but as you can see from the ladder on your screen, he's still 0.086. So we're talking hundreds.
Whoa,
yes,
what a line before going up the hill towards corkscrew. So this is Mitchell's fastest lap so far.
So a big push then. Mitchell Green down the hill now from the exit of corkscrew. That's known as 8A into 9. This is Rainey Curve. Named after Wayne Rainey, the legendary motorcycle racer, of course, into turn 10, then a little short blast down to 11, which is a bit tighter than a 90. So it's not a hairpin, but it nearly is. It's like, we'd call it an open hairpin. Bernier's closed down again. Whoa. So Bernier's gone really quick on the second half of this lap. And this is causing problems for Mitchell Green, isn't it? Mitchell Green over the line. Will he go quickest? No, in fact, neither of them improve. Oh, Bernier does improve. Mitchell Green does not. So if I were Mitchell, I think I'd be looking to let Bernier take the lead now.
Yeah, it looks almost like this was Jan's approach strategy for this qualifying. Just follow what your main rival in the championship is doing. Place your car behind him, leave half a straight distance and try to catch him on his flying lap. So interesting to see.
Mitchell's lap, I mean, we know he's using a lot of track on the exit. We didn't see any noticeable errors.
This is just on the limit of being the last lap, if not the second last. There's 45 seconds on the clock.
Chen coming down the hill. Stephen and Mike Chen were both in P3 and P4 yesterday behind Chuck Whittle. Whittle managing to hold them off, hold off their attentions. Over the line now. Where's Mike Chen going to go? He's currently P6 and stays in P6 at the moment. We're really keen to see, are these two going to make it for another lap? This is Gary Ott. Gary Ott might make another lap here. It's 6 seconds to the checker flag. He's got to get to that timing line before the flag comes out if he wants another crack at it. There it is, 0 comes up, the checker comes out. Mitchell Green and Bernier over the line for the final time. They've missed the chance to do an extra lap, and they don't. Well, Mitchell Green does improve, 124.2. Oh, wow, it's close, isn't it? I'm just looking at Gary Ott's time. That doesn't make any sense here. The gap is 0.08 across through last lap, not best lap. Sorry, Tony. Just elbow Tony. Look how close it is. They're all on a 124.2. So it's super close between them. But yeah, only Mitchell Green improved. Now, Gary Ott just made it through before the checker flag came out. Here he is now. And he's going to have a spun car in front of him. Is he on the exit? Somebody's in the loose and the gravel on the outside. There's somebody in the wall just to the right of our camera shot there, and the catch fencing's in the way, so I don't think we'll be able to see that. So Ott is the only threat now, I think. Chuck Whittle's, and that's not fair. Chuck Whittle's in P5, but Gary Ott, we know, has got a bit of form in terms of getting pole this year. Up into the corkscrew now. One last time. These drivers are right at the top of the timesheet, so they are a threat to the pole, but Bernier has done a good lap. How much quicker than yesterday for Bernier? Whittle moves over. Gary Ott comes through the right-hander. Little dab of the brakes mid-corner, just as he didn't quite have the nose tucked in. Onto the brakes for the final time. This is definitely a push lap from Gary Ott. Into that last corner. Let's see what he can do. At the moment, it's a 1:24.764. Needs to find about half a second if he wants to take that. Couple of tenths of a second. No, remains P2. So I was looking at last lap compared to best lap. So, yeah, the top three are separated by 0.08 of a second. So we're talking 0.08 of a second over the top three. Super close.
Yeah, so the trend of the morning was a little bit broken here because the Selam drivers found a lot of lap time compared to yesterday. Instead, our Shell drivers didn't break the 124 barrier like Jan did yesterday. So track conditions more or less same. Not a huge difference. It was just Selam drivers that really took.
Yeah, really made it. Yeah,
7
made the most of it.
faster than yesterday. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Tony Villander got an elbow to the knee there. Sorry, mate. I got very excited, as I do occasionally. And
1-0 for you.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Yeah, 1-0. I look forward to getting a jab in the ribs later on. High fives all round. Good job by Jan Bernier. But I tell you what, that's close in terms of lap time. It really is.
Yeah, very good qualifying session again for our Shell drivers. Very close.
There must be an element there of psychology too, wanting to follow Mitchell Green and be in the mirrors for the whole thing and then just steal the result each time. So Jan Bernier does take pole. There's an extra point in that, so that brings the gap down from 7 to 6 points in the championship. It is crucial, every one of these points. Another one for fastest lap, don't forget. Gary Ott, P2, he'll be on the front row. Mitchell Green will be in behind Jan Bernier on row 2. With Stephen Chen alongside, who's managed to best Chuck Whittle, something he couldn't do in the race yesterday. Mike Chen up there as well. Brian Waltersdorf and William Naranjo down to P8 in Coppa Shell qualifying. Brad Evans, Osvaldo Gaia, Roy Carroll, Joel Rose, Mike Lully, Jarrett Bilacek and Javier Rodriguez Borgio are down to P15. And Andrew Parker takes 16th. Nina Jade has got Jan Bernier already, had Mitchell Green firmly in his sights during the whole of that session, and he'll want to beat him later on today. Let's hear from the pole sitter now.
Absolutely, I'm with the pole sitter, Jan Bernier. Very happy, Jan. 800ths of a second separated the top three. It was extremely close. How happy are you to get pole position?
I'm happy. We're going to forget about yesterday and repeat today and kind of try to do better in the actual race, but getting on the front row was the key here. It's really hard to pass. Mitchell, he's the rocket man. He calls me that too. He and I got a little unlucky coming out of the pit because the guys on their first flyers were catching up to me. So it pushed me up in the back into him. So maybe he was looking in his mirror a little bit. But he and I are quick. We should be okay in the race. Should be a fun race. Hopefully better. We'll get to the end without having to come through the pits.
I was going to say, was it mind games driving so close behind Mitchell? That's what we were thinking.
It was actually pretty interesting to see where we're different in speed, but no, he's a really good driver. So I learned some things. He probably learned some things from me. We'll have a good time out there.
Go well today, Jan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Isn't that great to hear? Absolutely no animosity at all. Just looking forward to going racing and fighting it out for the championship. It was a brilliant lap and great tactics from Jan Bernier and the Ferrari of Seattle squad. Nice job. He is on the pole and he'll look to convert today.
And that was a good point for Jan, because drivers do actually learn from other drivers on track, see the racing line, see the braking points, where you brake, how you rotate the car, tight line or a little bit later apex. Those are the things that even two drivers having a similar lap time, there might be and there can be a lot of difference in driving style and racing line.
They sure can, and we're getting now up into Trofeo Pirelli. Pirelli Am is up first. The race is around the other way today. It's Coppa Shell first, followed by Pirelli, if I remember correctly. too much tyre weaving going on, so we saw some of that yesterday, but everyone just sticking to their lines and taking Tony's approach of just getting the temperature up in the tyres via the brakes and the wheels, and just leaning on the car here and there mid-corner, just generate a bit of extra heat. Sebastian Mascaro. On his out lap. Mascaro was P2 in the standings, I think, when we arrived here. Yes, he was. Brad Falvera leading. Another very cool livery on his car, I think. And there's Matthew Diel, who I had a chat with this morning with his family.
There you have your white wheels.
Yes, I do. Yes, Matthew, good. He's got caps as well with the same livery on it. It's very cool, I like it. See, white rims on race cars look cool, I think, don't you? It's a pain for the guy that has to clean the wheels, I know, because brake dust on white wheels is a nightmare, but I think they look cool. What do you think?
Yeah, looks really nice. I mean, we've just discussed with you earlier in the season that what a special work it goes to designing these liveries, and some of the teams and drivers take it all the way to the drink bottles, helmet, racing overalls, even the, how do you call them, the haulers, the trucks, everything is by the livery. So
yeah,
it's very nice to see.
Yeah, the effort that goes into it, it's very cool. I guess you take inspiration, don't you, from the top teams. Everybody sees what happens in F1. There is not an inch of anything that is not branded. If there's a space, you brand it. But there are some super cool liveries, very much. Joe Rubbo, I like his as well. And what I don't like, it's a beautiful colour, is when we get 10 cars that are Ferrari red and in turn one, and I'm like, I have no idea.
Because you don't know who is.
Yeah.
Who is
Now, normally,
which
to be
car.
fair to Brad Falvera, because he's normally the one who's up the front, we can spot Brad because he's very quick indeed. But yeah, sometimes he can. A beautiful colour though Rosso red is. When there are too many Rosso red cars, it's like, wow, which one's which? First world announcer problems for you there. What a great venue.
This
really
is our session number 3 for this morning. Yesterday, Eric Pan, 1:23.478. So, Eric was the fastest driver. Pirelli yesterday.
Good as Venceslas here with Brad Falvera breathing down his neck. I wonder if Brad will want to dispatch him. He does, and Venceslas has seen him, so he's let him go basically, which is fine. Looking at it, are they both on the same? No, Venceslas is on his first lap, whereas Falvera is on his second. So that's a good decision by Venceslas. There's no point in fighting for it. I think is that Bilacek behind him. Is Balkasoon with the chrome and black on the side of the car. So Gutierrez quickest at the minute, 1:28.8, but we know we're getting towards the territory where the lap times will really start to tumble. Here's Ray Acosta. Ray desperately tried yesterday to liven things up for us, but it was hard work. I saw him at breakfast this morning with his driver coach. He was all smiles. That is Gutierrez in the yellow car.
Yeah, we're starting to get closer to the time when tires are ready, lap times is starting to improve. Basically every driver on the track, their last lap was their best, and now we are below 1:25. So from here on, next 2-3 laps will be the best performance on most of the drivers.
Yeah, every single driver on track did a personal best on that last lap. Air temperature still around 20 degrees. Here's Matthew Diel again. He's currently down in P18, so this must be a warm-up lap because he's quicker than that. We had an on-board with him yesterday. Esteban Beckman goes fastest, 1:24.9. Still, though, 1.5 seconds to find compared to yesterday's pace. Rubbo just a little quicker. Here comes Matty Deal. Let's see what he can do. With the white wheels, where does he move up to? P13. Good stuff. Oh, Mascaro's off. P2 in the championship. Sebastian Mascaro is off the road. Loops the car back round. Where is he?
Yeah, this is the corner going up the hill before the corkscrew. So this is turn 6.
Ray House,
what often happens is if you drop a wheel, so there is a little bit of compression in the apex of that corner, then you would just need to use all the track that is available in the exit. But if you go too fast through the apex, it's difficult to back off, and if you drop a wheel, then you end up spinning very easily. Sometimes a bit risky to run into the inside barrier. Let's see. Yeah, there's not a cloud of dust, but he definitely went until the exit of the corner and then lost the rear of the car. I don't know if there was a touch with the barrier, but I think the car should be okay.
Yeah, it would only be a light touch, I think, when on the front corner. He was lucky not to go in harder there because it is quick and the rubber on the inside is not actually that big. Beckman 123.8 with that lap. What was it yesterday for pole?
123.5. Yeah, 123.5.
Yeah, okay, so another 2 or 3 tenths in theory. Bearing in mind, as we said earlier on, Coppa Shell went significantly quicker, 7 tenths or so quicker. Coppa Shell did not match those times. Now, Coppa Shell Am, you had to be fair to them, they're a little more inconsistent because they haven't got as much experience, so you might expect that with another day's experience they would improve more. I guess we'll get an indicator on lap time definitely in this session a bit. And of course, the final session will be for the very quickest drivers, those who are battling it out for the overall time, like the Trofeo Pirelli. Ferrari Challenge North America champion will be the champion of that category, the highest of the categories. Favre quickest, 123.6. So now we're getting there. Here comes Ribot towards the finish line, currently down in P7. Take a look and see where he was yesterday. Yeah, qualified 5th yesterday and goes up to 3rd today. Yesterday it was Pan, Favre, Acosta was the top 3. So Eric Pan with 6 tenths to find. We know he's capable because we say yesterday he did the 123.4. And still, most cars out on track are still doing personal bests now. Porter goes quick, he's 123.442. So that's quicker than yesterday, Tony?
Correct, that's quicker than yesterday's pole. We're still waiting a lap time from Eric Pan, and he just posted right now just 500ths off the pole.
Wow, and is that quicker than he went yesterday? Because he was pole yesterday, was as well, yeah?
Yeah, similar lap time.
Yeah. Got to dig a little bit deeper, find just a little bit more. At the moment there are only there's a second over the top 10, but the top 4 it's 3 tenths of a second, 4 tenths of a second over the top 5. It's basically a tenth in between each position out on track at the moment. It's nothing. If we could show you the cars all over the line together, you'd be staggered at how close they are. You're talking half the length of a bumper for a tenth of a second. Whoa, big slide on the exit. Michael Mathes in the T car as well, having a good old push. Seems comfortable enough in it. At the moment sitting in 7th place, he'll be hoping to go a bit quicker than that. Move up if he can. They've got 1 minute and 50 left, so realistically most people 2 laps. Eric Pan, yesterday's winner and yesterday's pole, coming to the line now. Is he going to be compromised? No, he's not. He's late on the brakes as well. Eric Pan currently 59 thousandths off the pole. The indicator is on where he's managed to tap that in the car, so this has been a good lap. You know you're pushing if you stick the indicator or the wipers on.
Yeah, he had a slow lap right now, 5 seconds slower. He ran into some traffic. I think this is his final attempt. Maximum 2 laps left, but there is another 2 cars at least ahead of him, so hopefully he doesn't run into a traffic.
just wants to get it done. With a minute left, he won't make it round for an extra lap. This is his last attempt. So yesterday's pole man, as we see Mathez up into P2 with a PB of 1:23.494 on that last lap. Here comes Mascaro. Where's Mascaro at the moment? Down in P12.
Yeah, Mascaro
had the spin earlier. Yeah, had to try and find his confidence. Can he move up from P12? Come on, Seb, over the line. Not this time. So Mascaro had a really strong start to the season, and he's up in P2 in the standings. He's done an absolutely brilliant job, but definitely the last couple of rounds haven't gone his way. So there'll be a degree of frustration there, I'm sure. We'll try and catch up with him over lunch.
Sometimes, if I remember correctly, a little bit of struggle in qualifying, and then he makes great recoveries.
Good racing
in the races. So gets up to the rhythm a bit better when he's in traffic and makes good race starts and good recoveries. But qualifying maybe need to improve a bit.
Acosta over the line. 3 seconds now until the checkered flag comes out. So Acosta, Eric Pan goes quickest.
And this was his attempt.
Say again, Tony?
Yeah, he lost the previous lap, and then we said this is going to be his lap.
Slow lap and a quick lap. So Eric Pan has done it with a rest lap just before the end, and he hasn't taken the checker either. Brad Falvera has. Porter at P2, Mathez P3. So yesterday's pole sitter and winner currently on the pole with a PB on his 7th lap.
And it's impressive to have a 3/10 improvement from day 1 to day 2.
Yeah, really good. Really good. Especially as you go up the categories. You know, when you get up towards the Pirelli and the Pirelli Am drivers, we would expect them to be more consistent. So if they are finding time, it would suggest there is lap time in the track, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I think we'll get a real indicator when we see what happens in the final session. Rubbo coming over the line. He's P6 at the moment. He uses a bit of the apron outside the curb in turn 11. Check a flag for him over the line. Stays P6. So who's still out there? Porter is still out there. Pan and Mathez, any of those drivers, and they may well come in. Here comes Acosta from P7. So Ray Acosta lights the throttle up. That was commitment onto the loud pedal as he comes through the final corner. Is it a better time? It is a better time, but it's not an improvement. He gets into the 1:23s, 1:23.9, but not quick enough to get up to the top of the table. So still waiting to see if Pan, Porter or Mathez can do something on this last lap. Beckman as well hasn't taken the checkered flag. That doesn't mean they're not in the pit. They might be in anyway. I think Porter and Mathez might already be in. Yeah, so Porter and Mathez are in already, so they've decided they've done their best. Now, Eric Pan has also come into the pits. So here he is with the pole. Yes, they got the pole in the win.
They had me, but no.
Yes, they thought they had me, but no. Do you remember yesterday? I think, was it Eric that said didn't do a good lap? Maybe now today he'll feel that was a better attempt. He's certainly much more flamboyant today with his attitude towards the lap. Great job. 2 poles. Can he convert that to 2 wins? And look forward to hearing from Nina Jade with Eric in a few moments what he thought of that lap. Did he find the missing tenths that he thought he could find yesterday to get the job done? 1:23.153. Let's take a look then. Eric Pan at the top of the table with that pole lap. Michael Porter P2, Michael Mathez P3, Brad Falvera, Esteban Beckman, Joe Rubbo, Ray Acosta and Harry Chung are your top 8. And then it's Venceslas, Hopkins, Logan, Mascaro, Gutierrez, Diel and McWilliams. Omar Balkasoon, Bruce Cleveland, Frank Sesniak and Ophir Levy. And Eric Pan is with Nina Jade Paul now.
Yes, I'm with a very happy Eric Pan. Eric, pole yesterday, win yesterday, pole today again. You weren't very happy with your pole position lap yesterday. Better lap today?
Yeah, definitely. Wasn't too happy about yesterday's lap, but today I was really happy. Now.
I saw you getting out of the car, celebrating with your team. What would it mean to get 2 wins this weekend?
It will be great. You know, show up every 6 months, win 2 races, win 2 pole. I guess that's how you do it.
That's how you do it, Eric. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Stoked. Very pleased with his lap, and he'll try and get it done next time round. So, yeah, what would he do if he was here full time? We'll have to see if we can persuade him to come a bit more often, won't we? Come on. Find that time. Get yourselves down there. So this is the smallest, but I think the most competitive of the fields in terms of lap time at the top. These are the drivers who are in Trofeo Pirelli, so they're looking to become the overall Ferrari Challenge North America champion. This is their last race on American soil. We saw yesterday passing here is very difficult. Kaminsky with probably the best pass of the day, I think. There was who was it that he passed? It was McWilliams, I think, wasn't it? Who had a slight sideways moment going out of, I want to say, turn 6, I think it was, onto the Rahal straight. And he took advantage of that and got him on the brakes into the corkscrew. Some great racing between them. Fist pump there, good stuff. Everyone's all fired up, aren't they?
Yeah, I think we were pumping a little bit the top 4 of this Pirelli category of these drivers. How close fight it's going to be throughout the season, but there's been one driver who didn't hear our stories. Massimo Perina, he didn't care. He has killed the other drivers, meaning that his performance in qualifying, performance in the races, is just very dominant and very impressive to see his first season with the 296 challenge car. So he has, you told yesterday, 6 out of 6.
What do you do with him if he went to, because he's brilliant. I saw him this morning. He's all smiles again. He's clearly full focus on what I would call being a professional racing driver. He's not playing at this. He's really doing a brilliant job. I suspect he's career minded. Where do you go when you come into Ferrari Challenge and win immediately?
I think
not that he hasn't got it yet.
Yeah, but I think there is a bit less rivalry in the family between the Massimo and Roberto. But Dylan Medler definitely was trying yesterday on the opening lap. He went up to P2 and tried to go left and right and catch Massimo and tried to take the lead. But as soon as that was gone, then there was no story anymore.
Yeah,
so that is basically the key moment when you are at the start of the race, and that was yesterday Dylan's only chance. Then when we go to the marching rhythm, when we go to the race pace, there's nobody who could
match him.
Yes.
At the minute, Tony Davis there with the blue and yellow. Kaminsky yesterday, I think, came out later than the other drivers, and I can't see him out on track just yet. So I wonder if he's doing the same. So yesterday we saw the drivers start to push on lap 3, so let's see if it's the same today. Temperatures are a little bit higher than they were. It's actually 15 minutes earlier qualifying today than it was yesterday. And it'll be earlier still because yesterday we had a couple of clear-ups, so we had a couple of little delays in the session. So in theory you'd think, okay, well, yeah, it should be cooler, but I say the weather today is just that bit nicer. Clear skies, blue skies, sunshine on the track, you can see the shadows, and that makes a big difference to track temperature. So the question then is, can anybody beat Massimo Perina to the pole position?
And when we check the car handling and how was Massimo's car yesterday in qualifying, it wasn't easy, and he took the lead only to the last minutes of the qualifying. Looked like the rear end of the car was a bit tricky. The car was a bit pointy. The balance was on the nose of the car, so very precise front end, but the rear was not there to give the support, and the speed he was carrying in, the rear gave up often in the corners. So I think Massimo yesterday had to work for his pole position a bit more. Let's see his car balance in few minutes time. They're just finishing lap 1, so another 2-3 laps before we see some real lap times.
I said yesterday, Tony, a fast car isn't always easy to drive. So again, I come from the world of rallycross, as you know, and in the World Championship there, Timmy Hansen, who's the son of Kenneth Hansen, a very famous rallycross driver, and he'd said one day to him, professional World Championship level drivers, Dad, the car's not easy, it's really hard to drive. And he said, you're not on holiday.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really good way of putting it. You know, they're a fantastic family team, but it was a good indicator. It was like, just because it isn't easy to drive doesn't mean it isn't fast. Yeah, this is the job.
And the other way around, something easy on track doesn't mean that it's going to be fast.
No.
So
and it didn't look easy yesterday, did it? That's the point. It looked twitchy, but the car looked sharp, and a sharp car can bite you. But if you're good enough, which clearly the guys in this category are, that can make the difference.
Yeah, exactly. And also on the track like here in Laguna Seca, a car with a lot of understeer, I feel like is not a good choice. So that's why on the edge of being neutral with car balance or almost towards the oversteer can pay off with new tires especially.
It's so hard to describe, isn't it, the feeling to if you haven't been lucky enough to drive a car as fast as you can. And you don't have to be as good as Massimo Perina to go and drive as fast as you can. You need to go and join, Corsa Pilota and have a go, and then you'll start to feel what we mean by understeer and a car being on the limit. And the thing about these cars as well is that none of them work properly until you're leaning on them. And the more you lean on them, the better they work. But then you get to the point when you're really leaning on it and you're really consistent, that those changes to the setup can make the difference. So you would probably find that a number of the drivers in Coppa Shell, for instance, would have an easy car to drive, which Massimo would not be able to do that lap time in because it's not sharp enough. But that's what you want when you're learning. It's all about what stage you're at.
Yeah, that is true. There always a little bit of driver preference as well when you take drivers at the top level. Like we discussed right now, somebody prefers a little bit more understeer than the other driver doesn't cope well with that. So it's a continuous work, changing setup from yesterday to today, what you learned in qualifying and what you learned in the race. So that work never stops. Then it's up to the driver to have the consistency, self-belief, skill level in the right spot, and then you can perform well.
124.8 for Roberto Perina. He's the first driver to set what we would call a proper lap time, and that's still 2 seconds off where they were yesterday. Roberto himself did a 123.0. Massimo Perina about to come through. This looks like it will be a quick one. What does he do? 123.6. So yes, that's 9/10 slower than yesterday's pole. So that's a proper first attempt. And now maybe a big push on this lap, because at this level, Tony, the tyres will be right for about 3 laps for these guys.
Exactly, and you can hear in turn 2, Massimo using a higher gear with this twin turbo engine. You have a lot of torque, so the response on throttle and the acceleration is good even on the higher gear. So no need to go on the shorter gear, which then drops the minimum speed in the corner. Plus the car is more nervous in the exit, so you can really use the distance in the acceleration to use the same gear, and Massimo is seeing his second flying lap.
Medler goes into P2, 2.5 tenths off the time of Perina. Roberto Perina then moves up. Everybody on personal bests on the last lap. And wheel spin too. You know, you're killing the tyres more in a lower gear if you do light the tyres up on the exit, because these guys won't be running traction control because they can extract more from the car than the computer can.
Yes,
so they'll have the traction as close to off as they can, particularly in good conditions like this. So you want the least wheel spin possible and keep those Pirelli boots in the best possible condition for the race later on today. Cook moves up into P3. Massimo Perina coming round now over the finish line. Is this going to be quicker than he went yesterday? Roberto's on pole and Massimo takes about 122.6. It is quicker than yesterday. Yesterday was 122.726. It's a 122.685. That might well be enough to seal it. Oh, Kaminsky comes in P2, 0.5 of a second back. That's better by Johnny Kaminsky. He'd had a good test here this week, and yesterday didn't quite go how he wanted it to go.
Exactly. I feel like Johnny didn't have the best. He didn't show up with the best potential yesterday, and today's, let's say, first flying laps are showing a better performance. And now let's see what Dylan can do. This is Dylan's lap 4.
Yeah, P3, did he improve? Yes, he did. 23.532, that was his best lap. This is McWilliams.
Let's also wait for Roberto's reply, because yesterday he started on the front row. And now he's down P4.
Yeah, if you remember as well, Roberto Perina took the fastest lap in the race. And exactly. I remember afterwards Massimo said to him that must have been a really good lap. So because Massimo must have been pushing to get the extra point and he didn't get it. So yeah, he'll want to try and get ahead. Here comes Massimo Perina again, 122.6. Can he go quicker than his own time? This is surely the last chance for him. No, not this time. 120. That's a rest lap, isn't it? 125. So he's actually come through there. Now it's a push lap, because you can see coming out of turn 11. So he's rested the car. So Massimo maybe one more shot at it. As you see Kaminsky, where did Kaminsky go any quicker? No, he didn't. 1:23.4.
And here is also the difference we were discussing with you earlier. These drivers in the Pirelli category, they are able to post their best lap time 1 to 2 laps earlier than other categories, other qualifying sessions earlier.
Just on it, aren't they, straight away? Just switch it on. 2 minutes 53 remaining, though. Often these sessions are settled earlier because these drivers will extract the absolute limit out of a brand new set of Pirellis within the first, let's say, 5 laps, and we're at that point now. McCarthy coming over the line. It was in P6 and remains there at the moment. It's a spin. So Brian Cook's gone round.
Coming downhill from the corkscrew, so 8A, he has spun. So maybe too much curb. Need to exit off corkscrew, and then you have the inside wheel spinning, and then you lose the control of the car.
So it has to go across the dirt a little bit, but stays out of the way of the cars behind. Here is
he took a lot of inside curb on the right hand side, so a little bit of disconnection. Car is up in the air, and then at the compression time, then the car
round it goes. He was across the concrete, wasn't he, on the inside of the curb? And a number of drivers were saying yesterday that was one of the things that was struggling with, how much do you go tight? And the answer is not that tight.
And another slow lap from Massimo. So the previous one was on around 125. Now he does almost 126. So
is he going to go for one more or park it? Maybe.
Not sure.
We'll try and find out if Massimo
no real reason right now. He's half a second ahead of Johnny.
Yeah, you kind of. I wonder maybe then, Tony. Maybe it's a couple of slow laps to see if anybody responds.
Exactly.
Don't push. Don't waste the tyres. Yeah, cruising round is not going to take. He's still out. He is still circulating. We're hearing from race control, so he's still out there circulating. The question.
You hear also the communication with your team.
Yeah.
The engineer is monitoring the split times, so the sector times from the other drivers. If you don't see anything green or purple, no reason to
just
push
chill. Yeah, but don't come in the pits just yet. Here he is. So, Massimo Perina, is this a push lap or is it another sort of... No, it's not. It's a chill lap, isn't it? Is he... All right, he might well come in the pits now. With 55 remaining, I reckon he'll pit. So, Massimo Perina surely thinks he's done that. He's going again. Is he going for one last lap? Come on, Massimo, let's go. Let's go. So, Massimo Perina, looking... He's out. He's playing now, isn't he? 2 cool-down laps around... 3, in fact, in a row around, and that one was slower again. So he did a 25, a 26, and a 27. This will either be a full push lap, or if he makes a tiny mistake, I reckon he'll sack it and come in.
Yeah, the first corners looks like he's still on it. Now on the dash, driver can spot the difference, the predicted lap time compared to his best lap time. So maybe around turn 4, turn 5, he will make a decision. Let's see Johnny. Johnny's on it.
He is. Freaky fast written on the side of the car. He certainly is. Remember, this kid is 16 years old. He's super nice. The checker flag is out, and this is his last attempt. So he's taken it already, is he?
I think he backed off after the...
Okay, yeah, he has.
A bit of oversteer moment.
I liked the oversteer moment, Johnny. We enjoyed that a lot. He stays out of the way.
Maybe that was for us and the sponsors.
Yeah, I think so. He needed... Freaky Fast is on the rear wing as well now. It might have been on there before, but yeah, it's good. Okay, Massimo Perina. Nah, he's rolled off again, hasn't he?
Yeah, Dylan is repeating his P3 from yesterday. The big changes between Johnny and Roberto, so...
Yeah.
Johnny improving from P4 yesterday to P2 right now, and Roberto dropping 2 spots.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens at the start. Medler was very assertive at the start yesterday, which I think was a good move. It's dirty offline. Everyone is not cautious because they're good. They're very good, but you are a little more cautious in turn 1. You're very aware of the traffic around you. You're feeling your way into the grip levels. But this man, Massimo Perina, we said there was a little bit more time in the track, and we knew it would be marginal for them, but he does manage to go sort of a half a tenth quicker than he went yesterday to take the pole. That is 10 poles in 12 races and 7 in a row. Massimo Perina looking to finish the American part of this season and put himself in the biggest possible advantage he can as he heads to Italy to try and wrap up the title. It'll be his 2nd title in 2 years as well. It's a great performance. You see, it's that calmly assured job done, and now he's got to do it again later on today. But Jan Bernier there to congratulate him. Bernier with the pole earlier on as well. Hugs from the team, Dad, mega. Good job. 10 from 12, 7 in a row. Lucky 7. Massimo Perina takes the pole, 122.685. Johnny Kaminsky goes 2 better than yesterday to be on the front row. Half a second off, though, goes to show you the advantage Perina has got at the minute. Medler only a tenth off the back of Kaminsky, 2 tenths back to Roberto Perina, who was on the front row yesterday. Then it's Brian Cook, Ethan McWilliams, Jason McCarthy and Tony Davis. Only 1.4 seconds across the entire field. So I think you can see how impressive it is that 5 tenths of that gap is the gap between P1 and P2. What a lap by Perina. Nina Jade's with him now. Let's find out how perfect it was.
Massimo Perina, 10 poles out of 12 and 7 poles in a row. You've got to be happy with your performance this season.
It's hard to not be. I mean, Ferrari of Seattle now, they swept the podium last time around at Watkins Glen. Now we swept the pole positions for the second race here at Laguna. Very happy.
I was going to say a word for your team. You got 3 out of the 4 pole positions this morning as well. How good is that as a team?
It's as good as it gets. I mean, the team works so hard weekend after weekend and even off the track. So it clearly shows with the results.
And quickly, what's your plan for the race?
Run away.
Run away. Good. Go well.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff from Massimo Perina, getting the job done again. And he's just got one more job to do in America before heading to Italy. He's got to try and take the win later on today. There is the Ferrari Corral. That's just outside Casa Ferrari. We're all having a lovely time here at Laguna Seca. We hope you're enjoying watching at home, or indeed if you're in Casa Ferrari. Thanks to Nina J. Poole and Tony Villander. My name is Andrew Coley. If you would like to watch the races later on today, I think it's 13:50 local time, and we've got the Coppa Shell race followed by the Trofeo Pirelli race as well. It's the last dance here in the US of A before we wrap the season up in Italy in October. So we'll see you later on today.